Hello, I'm Twitch and welcome back to my channel. So the last few videos we discussed protection, cleansing, charging, and we even made black salt. But as you know, today we were going to be working on self-care for empaths. So that includes protection, cleansing, and grounding. Grounding is actually the most important part. I cannot tell you how many grounding techniques there is. Like, I know that I found this list online and it was so funny. They had 50 techniques. Of course, they were basic things like taking a hot shower, exercise, blah, blah, blah. But we're going to discuss some of those silly ones today because they're not as silly as you think. So, as usual, we start with what I'm sipping on. Today it's going to be a little different because it actually has to do with the video. But I'm actually not sipping on that because I already did, and then I was like, well, you know what? I want to do something different. I have never actually, no clue what that noise was. I have never actually drank a single full before. I just use it in my spell work. But I put that with my yerba mate and spearmint. You know, I always do our yerba mate and spearmint. Do the spearmint for flavor, the yerba mate for energy. But anyway, I want to try something different. Actually, it tastes pretty good. But anyway, we're going to go on to, this is a 7 chakra empath tea blend. It is to help you with a lot of different things, but it's also to help you balance and align your chakras. So we're going to start with the root chakra. Oh, let me add that each one of them has a stone inside of it that is charging the herb. So each one of the herbs will be charged as well. So I think that this is really awesome. So I just keep them in there now, honestly. So ashwagandha is our first one. I have powder form and the regular form. But since the powder was what I got first, I want to go ahead and use it. So anyway, the garnet's in it. So we have Damiana with moonstone in it. That is the sacral chakra. Solar chakra, we have lemongrass and citrine. Some of these you may not be able to see the stones in them. So for your heart chakra, which is really funny because it's in a heart-shaped bottle, these are hawthorn berries, and it's rose quartz inside. I actually was surprised I had some small ones because I have so much rough rose quartz. Like, I have so many pounds, it's not funny. Okay, so the next one is slippery elm, and it is the throat chakra. And inside of it is aquamarine. I'm sorry you can't see all of them, and I apologize for the bags. But the powders I just want to hurry and use. I don't want to put them in a jar. So the next one is, so I'm sticking to it. This one is the third eye. This was passion flower, and it has sapphire in it. It is not a true blue sapphire like my wedding ring. This one looks different. Let me see if I can pull it out for you. So I was shocked when I went to the shop and I was like, look, I need a sapphire and I'm not putting my ring in it. She was like, I think I've seen some somewhere. And she was like, here, these were mixed with some other ones. And I'm like, those were mixed with the rubies. And they look so much alike. It's a hexagon shade. Okay, well, I tried to dig this out earlier and I was like, well, I'm just not gonna deal with it because I had an issue with my contact, and that's why the video was delayed. Okay, so I dropped it right after I got it. Right out of the truck, out of my lap. Truck's kind of high up. You see it? It doesn't look like what you would think it would look like, does it? Okay, but she knows her stuff, so I would never question her. So the last chakra is the crown chakra, and it's lavender and amethyst. So I also have amethyst in front of me because it's something else we're going to discuss. But if you paid attention to my last video, when we were talking about protection, this is, I think, I also had it, I'm not sure if I had it in that one. I think the first video. The first video when we were talking about cleansing and charging stones, I do think I was cleansing this one and charging it. Anyways, we're like 23. These things were expensive. I'm trying to get a hold of some so I can put them in my store at a, you know, not a ridiculous price. You don't even want to know how much I paid for this. When my mother-in-law saw the sticker, she's like, you pay that much? Okay, well, I needed it, and I've looked everywhere, like even on Amazon and eBay, they're the same exact price. I was shocked. So anyway, I use that instead of amethyst, and I keep it in my lavender. Okay, so we're gonna put these out of the way, and we're gonna discuss these stones in front of me. I'll eventually have a better this regimen technique, routine for moving everything out of the way. My husband said that the jars sounded loud. I'm surprised. See, I had issues with my mic, so I'm actually not using my mic. I'm just using my iPhone camera. So I was really surprised how great the sound is. Okay, so these are for protecting yourself as an empath. This is fluorite. This is one of my rainbow fluorites. So that one's that. I showed you the hematite yesterday. We collect spheres. I did not show you the tourmaline yesterday because I forgot, so I showed you the little jar. See, mine has clear quartz in it. Beautiful, isn't it? I have some that does, some that doesn't. I showed you my smoky quartz yesterday. And then, I'm not sure if I showed you this piece of amethyst, but I have several. I didn't realize I had as much amethyst as I do, because I was like, I don't even collect amethyst or rose quartz. I'm not really into those because they're just boring to me. So I guess I could just leave these here. Those are great protection stones for empaths. You can wear them as jewelry. You can keep them in your pocket, however you want. I don't know if you can see, but my earrings, my husband got me these before we got married. It's clear quartz, smoky quartz, and I think it's tourmaline. I'm not really sure. It just says there are different types of quartz. So that's what I'm guessing. I mean, I don't know. Unless it's a darker smoky quartz. But anyway, I like them. And yes, they do still need to be cleansed regularly. If I'm wearing them every day, yes, I probably need to cleanse them at least a few times a week. I have people argue with me about that. Go ahead, don't cleanse them if you don't want to, but you'll see what's going to happen. You're going to collect all the energy around you, and they're going to be stuck in your ears. Yes, same with your necklaces. Everything needs to be cleansed regularly. I'll just cleanse them when I want to. That is fine. Cleanse them whenever you want. But remember, that stuff's going to stay around. I used to have all kinds of stones by my bed, and I felt like crap because all that stuff was just bogged in there, you know? You really got to, if you're wanting to be a witch, you have to, there's certain guidelines to follow by. Some of them you can bend and twist, whatever, but, and some, you know, and there are some you can make as you go, but some, they're just there, okay? We can't ignore them. Okay, so these are stones I like for grounding. This one, as I showed you yesterday, that I keep it in my yerba mate. I also keep this one in my yerba mate. They're, like I said, they're for grounding. So this is my fire agate. It is, they call it like half polished. On one side's polished. And this is my, mine went like petrified wood slice. Now, if you're going to carry these with you, that is a little too large, right? So I have the little one. My husband's got one too. This is a little larger than mine. He usually does pick larger stones than me. I told you that. So that's the side that's polished. His is larger. I think mine's prettier. Now, actually, I noticed something when I was watching. I like to watch my videos after I record them. And I noticed I had already sent it because I was like, you know what? I'm not going to sit and edit all this stuff. So I noticed that I said that I always pick the prettiest one. Actually, I pick stones that feel good, feel right in my hands. See what I'm saying? Like, just feel right. I may have not started out that way, and like these I bought when I first started getting into stones. So, but anyway, I like to do that. I like something I can just fits right in my hand. Okay, so those are for protection and grounding. Of course, there's not stones really for cleansing, I guess. Yeah, well, that's another subject. Okay, so the next we're going to talk about, we're going to go back to cleansing. So I did tell you that I make sprays. I'm not going to tell you what is all in all of them. You can go check those out in my store. These are the ones I use on a regular basis. This one I use to get rid of negative energies. I'm telling you. I'll show you how I use it, okay? And my husband can vouch for this. This stuff works great. I do this before I go out into public because I am an empath, a very sensitive one. So I do this. I want it in my teeth. Spray it once. I walk through it. I do that 4 times. You can feel it by the second one. It just, everything just melts away. Okay, so the second one is for balancing. I call it balance spray. I will tell you one thing. This smells amazing. It smells like chocolate covered strawberries, and the smell just, I mean, you don't have to keep adding scent to it. Like, it just smells amazing. And like I said, I'm not going to give all my tips away. If you pay attention to the channel, I will give my little tips away here and there, but you got to add the clues together and find them. But anyway, well, that's for another day, a whole other subject. I actually made this for a customer. They decided that this wasn't the right one that she smelled. I'm like, you know what? Never mind. I'm guessing it was this one, but she says it was this one. Anyway, this is basically this one. I just done a little bit more tweaking with it, and I call it my goddess spray because not only does it cleanse and ground you, like, you feel like a goddess that day. Like, you're like, nothing can get in my way. No obstacles. I can beat this. It does not matter. So I'm going to have to get some better spray nozzles for some of these. They get clogged easily. So, can you hear this? Yes. There are stones at the bottom. Okay. So, okay, bath salts and full moon baths. They're very important. But remember, always cleanse with, you have to take a bath first. It has nothing to do with the bath. Make sure the bathroom is clean. The whole bathroom. Completely clean it after you get out of it. You can do it before too if you want. So make sure it's clean and only have the items you need in there. Your mind does not need to be disorganized. Your room does not need to be disorganized. Clutter is really bad for an empath. And that is why I can't live cramped up with anyone. It's very bad for me. I will go crazy. So let me pull these out. And I'm going to give you some tips on some things. Okay, I apologize. Oh, that hurts my legs. Okay, this is one of my tips. White sage oil is awesome, but it's not as cheap as most other oils. I usually come in tiny bottles. When you can do it 2 different ways, okay? So you can just do it in 3 steps. You're going to do like 3 little handfuls of, oh, this is a full moon bath, by the way, that I'm discussing. So you can do like 3 little handfuls of Epsom salt, 3 little handfuls. And each time, remember, your intention is to cleanse yourself. Okay, get the bad negative energies out and replace those with positive ones. Don't just get rid of negative energy. You got to replace it with something. And actually, it's not always good to just get rid of negative energy. You need to transmute it into positive. I learned that recently. We're getting rid of that stuff that we actually need to work on. Now, how are we going to be a better person if we're just like pushing it to the side and not working on it? So, like I said, Epsom salt, sea salt, and or pink Himalayan sea salt. That's what I had always preferred. And then you're going to do 3 little dabs of Florida water. Those aren't as commonly found in stores like they used to be. I actually went to a wig shop to look for it. And they're like, we don't have it. I was like, where the heck do I get it then? So, this is mine. I have everything I need in this. You can do flowers, herbs, oils. You can do a mixture of things. You can do it that way instead. And this is more like my empath one. This isn't my full moon one. So I don't have Florida water in it. So anyway, I have a mixture of Epsom salt, sea salt, and pink Himalayan sea salt. I got rose petals, lavender, and some oils and stuff. So lavender and lemongrass. That's what I wanted. Oh, before I get to that, I was doing really good about not getting off track. A you don't have a big jar, I was lucky to find this at a thrift shop. It was layered with salts, like at a sea salt, and then it had pink Himalayan sea salt. So I just took them out, separated them, and I only paid like $5 for all that. So it's a really good deal because this jar itself is probably like 20 bucks. So anyway, you can put your blend in your sea salt container. Yeah, so you don't even have to buy one. My husband hates that I keep containers. I keep every glass jar and plastic container like this because I can reuse it. There's no reason, you know, buying more and just throwing this stuff away. And I recycle. He recycles too, so I don't understand why he doesn't understand that. But I think he's starting to get it, or he will eventually. So you can dump that in there instead, and it'd be so much easier to, you know, sprinkle in your bath. So it's up to you how you want to do it. So I'm going to go on to see, we talked about, okay. They have music on YouTube that you can watch for grounding, cleansing, protecting, like your home. Look them up. They're like isochronic beats, and there's different beats. There's all different ones, but look them up. I get so much out of that. It's really great for that. So on to protection. So we talked about the different stones, but what we didn't discuss is, or did we? We might have. To wear, black tourmaline is great to wear all over you, especially a necklace. And this is the protection part. And then we just talked about music. So here, I'll do this last because I'm getting so off track. I apologize. So shielding yourself. So before you go out in public, this is what you should do before you go anywhere. I was telling you about the sprays. So spray yourself to, you know, for balance and or grounding, whatever, to balance yourself and cleanse all that stuff off before you get out there, because you don't want any more stuff added, and you will use it again when you get home. But you also want, grab your stones as well, but you also want to create a shield. You want to visualize a bright white light around you, and that will protect you, okay? So I will go back to that. So what we started with, the 7 chakras, this is what it is. I wasn't sure where to put this in there, so we'll just do it with the protections, because I think that would go along with it. So, you don't really have to use that, but you can. So the herbs and the stones that we pulled out, okay? Those herbs, it's hard to find those in essential oils, so good luck with that. I don't have a lot of crushed stones in those types, but you can take those seven stones, if you have them crushed up, and you can put them, just take like a little piece or 2 of each one, and you can pop this top off of a roller bottle, and you can put the crushed stones in there, or you can buy some like black tourmaline or black obsidian. You can buy the ones that have the roller balls, or you can put your own in. I will be eventually having these in my store, but these oils are expensive. I will tell you that. I don't even have them all yet. So, but like, you know, Damiana, passion flower, some of those are, if you can even find them, you know. So, okay, what I would do is, I only have lemongrass and lavender in those. So I would put those in with those crushed stones with a carrier oil in a bottle. And when I went out into public, or I feel like someone's energy is getting to me, because that happens, I would just roll it on me. Sometimes I feel like I really need to roll it on, because people drive me crazy. Being an empath, it really does. I'd say the white sage with it, or Palo Santo oil, that would be very useful as well. Okay, so let's go on to grounding. It's a little hot in here. Oh, guess what I forgot over here? Cedarwood. Cedarwood's great for grounding. You can do those 2 different ways. You can do the 7 chakras, and you can do one just for grounding, if you want, like 2 totally different oils. It's up to you how you want to do it, because the one is more for like aligning your chakras, and the other one is more for grounding. Okay, so Reiki is one of those. I thought about pulling this board out because, okay, let's do that. I don't know if you can see all this. Is it backwards? Of course, it's probably backwards. I wanted to put all that on there, so in case you want to write these things down, Reiki is one of them. I can't read it backwards. Okay. So, balancing your chakras, which is what we just worked on. Spending a lot of time with animals. I've noticed that. It will definitely ground you. Like, being around a kitty cat. My husband feels so great when he's around a kitty cat. He just feels like everything just melted away. So essential oils, we discussed that. Nature. Nature is the biggest thing with grounding. And I've got it down here too, is you can walk outside barefooted. And we will discuss a technique for that. Okay. So grounding items, that goes along with it. We have a grounding sheet, but you can get grounding shoes, grounding bracelets. There's different grounding items you can purchase to help you. Or like I said, you could just walk outside barefoot, spend some time out there, about 20 minutes, and you can do this technique I'll talk about in a minute. You could do sun or moon bathing. For about 20 minutes, just go outside underneath the sun or moon. I suppose you can lie down. That explains a lot. When I was younger, I used to lie out in the sun a lot, even though I didn't really need to. But it seemed, I didn't realize I was grounding back then, but I know that now. Okay, so declutter. So my guides kept telling me in tarot readings, when I would do readings for myself, or just tell me, girl, you gotta declutter. You gotta declutter now. Like, you cannot live cramped like this. You have to declutter, or nothing is gonna get better. Your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual path. It's not going to get better till you declutter. You cannot let your house pile up. I promise you, it will not work. Your mind and your life have to be, your home, everything has to be decluttered. Okay. Exercise, yoga, etc. All of that is great. Physical health is very important. It will also ground you. So we talked about the music and barefoot. Meditation. Everyone knows that meditation is great for that. But can we focus to meditate? I really enjoy certain ones like the Wildfire. I think she's really good with like Reiki and meditation type things. I think she has some things like that. She has her own channel that I support, and she supports me as well. She is great. Let's see. There's some of those, like the tones. Some of those have, I have this app called Fabulous, and they have meditation on there too. I really like the guided meditation. I think it makes it more fun. I'm like, a door? Where's it? I already seen the door. Okay, if you're intuitive or a psychic, you may have a hard time with this, but you're going to see all the things before they even say it. Or I do anyway. I'm like, I seen the door like 30 seconds ago. I already went through the door. Okay, so visualizations. We just discussed that. And quiet time. I have to have my quiet time. I have to have my me time. And that's hard to explain to someone when you're married or in a relationship, or to your children when you're an empath. Is I need to be by my damn self. I'm sorry, but I do. I just need my quiet time. I will lose my mind if I do not get my quiet time. I have to be able to ground. Laughing. Laughter is a big one. I had a friend. She's no longer a friend. But anyway, anytime I had a hard time, I had suicidal thoughts, and I would contact her and I'd forget all about it. We'd laugh for hours and hours. I miss that. But some things you just don't give another chance, you know? Journaling. I have 2 journals. I have a regular journal that I journal my life in, and the other one is a spiritual journal. It's about my spiritual path. So that helps a lot. Oh, a dream journal. I think you should have 3 journals. A dream journal. And my friend mentioned this just the other day, and I was like, you know, I used to do that, and I've stopped. And elements. The elements are great. Water. Okay, so I like seashells. My sun sign is water, but everything else in my chart is fire. I don't have much water in my chart, but I have a thing with seashells. They're mesmerizing to me. So some people might have a thing with fire or earth or air. Sorry. They might have a thing with just being, I don't know, just you just elements. Just any element, just one that you, I guess, resonate with most, or you feel like you're in the mood for most of the time. So, I guess that is it. Oh, and I can't see in here because it's darker than it was yesterday, and I don't have a bunch of lights on because I figured it'd be too bright. But this is one of the carrier oils. I actually use rice bran more often. It's a big container. But I like to mix them sometimes, but I'm sorry I didn't pull that carrier oil out. I'm not as organized as I usually am. So the technique, let's talk about that technique. So I don't like to do embarrassing things in front of people, but I do in front of my husband all the time. But anyway, there's this technique, and it's about grounding, okay? I know you can't see me on this side, and I'm not gonna come over there and mess the camera up or anything, but be barefoot, okay? I'm not barefoot, so I'm gonna take my socks off. So I'm gonna do this correct way, right in front of you. We're not outside though. I'm not gonna take the camera outside. I'm just gonna show you in here. But go outside barefoot if you can. It may get too cold to do that, but try. If not, get some of the grounding shoes, okay? So you're going to picture yourself taking, first of all, you want to like align your chakras. So aligning your chakras. Picture a white light coming through you. So each one hitting your crown and back down. You're going to keep picturing this while you start picturing your feet taking roots into the ground. You're going to do this at the same time. It can take some time. You'll get the hang of it. But sometimes if I haven't done it in a while, it takes me a minute. And then by, 2 or 3 minutes, I'm getting it going there. So, like I said, picture the white light going through each one of your chakras. And it hits the crown. It's going to go back down. You're going to keep doing that while you're picturing your feet taking roots into the ground. Deep down into the ground. You're going to go through the grass, through the soul. Keep doing this. Through the soul. Through all the rocks and minerals. All the way deep down. You're rooting yourself. You're grounding yourself. There's different techniques, but keep picturing that. And you will ground yourself. I like to ground myself before I get in the tub to do my cleansing baths. There's different ways to cleanse and protect and ground yourself. I gave you some techniques. There's other things we can talk about in other videos. Like I said, pay attention to the clues and you'll figure it out. And apparently I'm losing stuff today. Oh man. I can't find my remote. There it is. Okay, so the next video, I'm going to do something different. Something I've never done before, but I was practicing earlier, and I was like, I think I can do this. What do you think my voice would sound like if it sounded like soft-spoken? Do you think I could do something soft-spoken? Almost a whisper? So I was practicing that earlier because I want to try an ASMR video. It's very popular. I enjoy watching them. So, and I can use the techniques that I enjoy most and make an ASMR video. So that is the plan for tomorrow. If anything changes, I apologize, and we'll keep going in order. Like we've done cleansing and charging and protecting, and we'll start talking about tools and witchcraft and those sorts of things. Tomorrow is Tuesday, so it should be tarot, but I may just pull out some tarot decks if I don't do this. I may pull out some tarot decks and my oracle decks to show you, and we'll discuss a little bit. But I'm not going to get on track until we've learned the basics of witchcraft, okay? So that is very important. I done something that ruined my life and someone else's years ago. And that's why it's so important that I teach you the correct way, and that I learn that I had learned the correct way and do it the correct way. So anyway, thank you for coming back and seeing me, and I can't wait to see you next time and talk.